people some EFK information, Jasmin.
That's what they're all here for, I'm sure.
Yeah. Are they banning fluorescent tubes? Are they going to be illegal? Come on, they're going to arrest me.
So, I don't think that's a clear yes or no answer, and I'll explain why. If you look at general lighting, so like the lights that you would have in your home or your garage, it's something that is purely just illuminating a room and has no other function. Fluorescent lamps in that application were banned in 2023. And so I think that it was at that point that the industry went a little bit crazy. Everyone suddenly thought, oh no, they've banned them in this application, we're next. Which is an understandable connection to make. And I have to say, I think that wasn't helped by some sort of scaremongering by those in the industry who probably knew better, but were sort of using it as a way to push their LED product maybe early, maybe encouraging customers to upgrade early, which of course is a capital outlay for them. And you can understand why some irresponsible organizations would attempt that, not all. But realistically, general lighting was on a path to be banned from around 2011, and it took all the way until 2023 for that ban to happen. And the reason being is that a ban generally does not take place until, if you imagine every single type of EFK that you can get, so not just the linear TA 18-inch, the common ones, but even like the obscure kind of more compact fluorescent ones, like the energy saver bulb looking ones. There's many different shapes and styles of fluorescent lamps, and you would need a retrofit LED solution for pretty much every single socket before that ban can take place, which is what happened in general lighting. It took from 2011 until 2023 for you to basically look at any socket in your home, regardless of whether it's a 6-foot lamp or an 18-inch lamp, and be able to find an LED alternative that fits into your socket without you having to buy a whole new fixture. So that's how many years that took in the general lighting space.
Like in my kitchen, though, it's really weird. I've got an LED light thing, and like when it breaks, they come out and they take the entire thing out and replace it. I thought that's wasting more. What? I don't understand. You have to replace the whole thing.
That's actually becoming the next thing in general lighting to be regulated on. So there's a big focus in the lighting industry on a circular economy, which would mean that. And you might have heard about it with washing machines and things as well, because there's quite a big push at the minute, even in washing machines and white goods, that if they break, you should be able to reasonably repair them and use the same housing rather than just send a whole washing machine to landfill or send a whole light fitting to landfill. That kind of emphasis on a circular economy is exactly that. They don't want masses and masses of light fittings to have to go to be disposed of. I mean, that's not sustainable. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. And so realistically, what we know now about the fluorescent lamps that we use in our EFKs or our ILTs is that when something is on a pathway for restrictions or regulations, the longest extension you can ever request and be granted is 5 years. So the last extension was granted on these tubes that we use for insect control in 2022, which means that 5-year extension is up in 2027. So a lot of people would take that to mean, oh my goodness, the lamps are being banned in 2027. And that is just simply not. We don't know yet. We don't know yet exactly what will happen. But based on what we know about how many retrofit lamps are available in market, how many traps are still in service that need to continue to be serviced. I mean, if you think a brand new trap that you buy today, maybe just a 2x15 watt, you don't want to have to bin that in less than 2 years' time because you can't get the lamps anymore, because that trap is going to go for years and years and years, and you bought it today, a brand new trap. So realistically, based on all of that information, the lighting industry widely believes and is extremely confident that we will see another 5-year extension, which would take us to more like 2032.
Okay.
Because that extension would start in 2027 when the current one lapses. Now, that's not necessarily to say that it will definitely be 5 years. They may look at where we're at and say, do you know what, we only need another 3 years actually, and that's enough time to get the the retrofit space up and where it needs to be. But certainly what we do know is that they're not going to suddenly become unavailable within the next 2 years. There's no need to, and that's something that I feel really passionate about, and is really part of the reason why Fotolec collectively decided that we needed to push a retrofit solution, is because I really do not want end users or technicians to be made to feel like, oh my gosh, I need to spend several £100s on a brand new trap before I'm ready to. If they're ready to, if their trap's hanging off the wall and is just done, it's been there for 15 years and absolutely needs replacing, by all means replace the trap. But what I don't like is the thought of someone having to upgrade early, or feeling like they have to part with money early, because it's not just necessarily about the ethics surrounding, oh, they've not really got their money's worth out of that fluorescent trap because they're binning it early. But it's also, for me, where's that going? That's going to landfill. That's being disposed of. We've got a serious sustainability issue on our hands as a planet, and that's not helping things. So my view is that LED is not truly sustainable if it means prematurely disposing of a unit that is on the wall. And I think most people live their lives like that anyway. I mean, like if you had a light fitting at home, which you could just buy a new replacement bulb for, whether it's an LED bulb or an old-fashioned bulb, you're going to do that. You're not going to say, oh, do you know what, I'm going to go and buy a whole new light fitting and then get that wired in. And it's common sense, isn't it?